Alright, everybody, it is time to talk about chapter 450 of Fairy Tale. Holy shit.
And oh my god, Mashima. Honestly, for this chapter and this for the first time ever, someone actually was actually able to create in a manga a moment that could rival the the king, no, the god of the troll, Tite Kubo. I didn't think it was possible. I mean, other mangaka have done plenty of trollish moments, but nothing. Like, honestly, this might even be even more trollish than, and I think, like I said, almost, maybe, possibly more trolly than anything Kubo's even done himself. Just, in this singular chapter, Hiramashima confirmed and full on showcased a fan ship and then immediately ended it in the same chapter. Not like, oh, we break up. She's dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, are you trying to get pissed your fans off even more?
Apparently
Or should I
so.
say, what fans you have left?
Yeah. Apparently so.
I'm like, the chapter was just the feels were from the beginning to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Zeref, he's had a tragic past, but honestly, I care more about Mavis, so it's like makes it feel even worse.
Right.
Because you actually care, and it's because the entire series of Fairy Tale, they've been talking about how Zeref's this bad person, and we've been trying to get rid of him. He has to be taken out.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. He's pretty much, you know. It's just insane that this is the kind of stuff that this whatever this god has driven people to do.
Right.
Like, and I don't know if I said this on or off recording or not, but they have to do something about this freaking god.
Right.
Like,
What,
they need to take him out.
Ankh-Sharam or whatever?
They have to take him out because
Yeah.
he is causing such. He pretty much is the cause of the world's problems.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it wasn't for him cursing Zeref, like half the plot line of the entire series wouldn't have been necessary.
Right.
Wouldn't have even existed. Because, in fact, well, then again, if you think about it, you know, Fairy Tale might not have even existed.
Correct.
But the point is that this guy, okay, Fairy Tale's created now. Now die. So that way and remove your curse from Mavis and Zeref. Because since she's in crystalline form in underneath the guild, and that you see her spirit or an illusion of her spirit in the guild currently, there has to be more. She still has to be in some way, shape, or form alive.
Right.
So we need to bring her, resurrect her, and then make this god re- remove the curse from them, so that way Zeref and Mavis could be happy.
Uh-huh.
Because it wouldn't make any sense if, honestly, like, okay, for a while now, ever since the Tartars, we've been talking about, how Zeref, ever since we came back from time skip, it's like, all right, the only people we have left to take out that's really a threat was Zeref and Acnologia. And now we have this, Alvarez Empire, which at first was like, oh man, this is gonna be, a major challenge and if they overcome it, they might stand a chance against Zeref and Acnologia. But lo and behold, this nation is being led by Zeref. So
Right.
it's like, in order to really defeat the nation, you have to defeat its leader, and that means they're going to have to defeat Zeref.
Right.
So it's like, okay, and we know that at some point it's going to be Zeref and is going to reveal to Natsu that, hey, you're my brother and you're a demon.
Hmm.
So it's like, in fact, you're not just any demon, you're END. So it's like, and being the fact that Fairy Tail is what it is and its power of friendship, they're not going to have the main. Sorry, they're not going to have Natsu, one of the main characters of the story, kill his brother.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about friendship and whatnot, and friendship, the power of friendship giving BS power ups.
Yeah.
So it's like, it would make more sense, at least also in a logical sense and in a fairy tale sense, if they go up against this god that's put the curse on Zeref and Mavis, and them using some power of friendship BS, able to overcome this god and reverse the curse or undo the curse, or whatnot.
Yeah. Or Zeref will die at Ankh-Serham's and hand or something like that. I don't know. We might see
Could be
something
something
like that where he sacrifices himself for Natsu. He's about to get killed. My brother.
Nazi's about to get killed, and
Yeah.
Zeref sacrifices himself because apparently the only person that can kill him is the god that put the curse on him, and in the
Hmm.
process the god gets destroyed, and because he's left this world, his magic no longer works or something. So Mavis is cured of her curse and can start growing up, but now she's like, oh well, the love of my life is dead. So what am I gonna do?
You have friendship. Oh, suddenly I'm better.
No, well, if now here's a crazy thing. If Mavis, if that's what the case, if Mavis ends up growing up without her love of her life, again with the Fairy Tale Guild, who do you think will be her ship then?
Hmm. Maybe what's
Oh
Makal's kid's name?
no, well maybe,
I
I
forget his
think,
name.
or maybe,
Romeo, I
and
think.
this would be an even funny. This would be a funny ship. Mavis X Guildarts.
Mm, yeah, it would be weird. Or no, here I go again. Shipper with Gray.
Well, remember, she's like what? Her physically, she's like what? 10, 11, 12, maybe?
Something like that. I don't know.
So it would have to be someone around her age.
Yeah, like Romeo. There you go.
Oh, you remembered his name?
Yeah, I did.
Well, yeah, that would be, you know. But remember, this is a new day and age. Maybe they might take the Avatar route, and she might end up with Wendy in a lesbian relationship,
Oh my
and
gosh.
they could be Lolitas together forever.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she is also gonna get. Maybe she already has the curse as well, and she doesn't
No,
know
because
it.
she's sort of grown up. She's sort of gotten taller throughout the series,
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
you know, but it's that all that portion just goes back to the whole idea that she is fan service for the people who like girl Lolitas.
Hmm.
So she can't become a busty, curvy female
Yeah.
because then she would no longer be a Lolita.
Hmm.
So the whole thing, yes, this has been a deviation, but the whole point of this is that Mavis needs to be saved because we care about her, and
Hmm.
this story is just like, just did you like see her face when we was when Zara found her?
Yeah.
She was totally like she was driven insane
Hmm.
because of how much she was prized life, and how even though the more she prized life, the more she took it away.
Hmm.
You know, and here's the other question: Makarov. Before Mavis came out to say something, Makarov was going to tell the reason as to why, was going to say something about Fairy Heart.
Hmm.
My question is to you: how much of this story does Makarov actually know?
I would say he probably doesn't know. He probably knows what's coming up. I don't think he knew anything up to this point because I think because Purahito or Prect has to know a fair bit of this story as well because he's gonna know everything about Fairy Heart pretty much.
Well, yeah, obviously
And
that's
he
how
probably
it's
taught
passed
it
on.
to Makarov because obviously from master
But
to
my
master.
question is to he. But see, the thing is that does this? So does that mean that Makarov, for the first time, is finding out why his mom died?
Yes, I believe so.
And if that's the case, what is his feelings about this whole thing? And
Yeah, that's a good
we still don't
question.
even know what else we still don't even know what else is going to happen.
Hmm.
There could be other stuff that's going to happen that Makarov might not know.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question actually.
Like, for instance, for those of you who've read Fairy Tail Zero, his not too long. We still got what? Not too long after this, his father's supposed to die. So is it possible that we? I mean, it's presumed that depending on how it happens, that they would know about it.
Hmm.
But it could also be possible that it isn't known how he died, or at least Makarov and Purahito don't know how he died. It's
Uh,
possible, but we have to wait and see what happens in the next chapter.
right.
Because based on the fact that it's titled Fairy Heart, I'm guessing it's going to detail what happened, everything up to the creation of Fairy Heart.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and by the
so
way,
this
people, if you haven't read Fairy Tail Zero, read it fucking now because it is so important. Like literally it was timed
like,
perfectly.
well, see, here's the thing. For those of you who have not read Fairy Tail Zero, but read the main series manga, you're pretty much not gonna have this relationship. Doesn't make any sense to you. Well, shouldn't make any sense to you if you haven't read Fairy Tail Zero.
Hmm.
Like, there's a lot of because Fairy Tail Zero, over the course of its year that it was in publication as a monthly special manga,
Uh-huh.
detailed the pretty much, yeah, the formation of Fairy Tail and the interactions, the relationships that were created. One of which was a relationship with Zareth.
Yeah.
So, in the end, this chapter was, if I was, was pretty much a, like, holy shit type of chapter. Not like, damn, them feels right in the heart
Uh-huh.
type of chapter. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that's,
I just want to point out something from Fairy Tail Zero, and this is going to be big spoilers from the Zero if you have not read it, but this is extremely important to what's happening now, and that's the timeline at the end of Zero. I'm going to read this off word by word from the translation I'm reading. And this is year X696. This is where we're at, is Yuri's son Makarov is born. This took place only I think about 3 months afterwards. I think that's what they said, based
what in
on,
the events of Mavis and Zareth meeting?
yeah. Because I
No,
think they
because
said
no,
that she
no,
hadn't
because
eaten
remember
in 3 months.
no, she says she hadn't eaten in half a year,
Oh, half a year. Okay, so half a year
at
has,
least 6 months.
yeah, so about 6 months have passed. And then X697 is when that crossed out timeline is on there. So literally the same year, and it also
Within
says in X697, as per Mavis's last words, Precht made second guildmaster, which means obviously she's not going to
that,
just drop dead at this point. Um,
but it looks like she's dead.
it looks like it, but there has to be something else because she has to name Precht the second guildmaster, and we still have that whole crossed out thing that we still have to cover. So
Which is what exactly how is Fairy Heart created,
Yeah.
which is what we're going to deal with in the next chapter.
Right.
And so it's going to be tough to figure things out.
Mhm.
And it's only going to get more sad from here on in the next chapter.
Right.
But this is going to be pretty much the launching point for the most likely the rest of this. This pretty much is what to me seems like the beginning of the end,
Mhm.
because we're finding out about Fairy Heart. Like we said earlier, in order for them to really beat Alvarez, they're gonna have to defeat even the leader. So they're gonna have to beat Zeref. So this might actually be the final arc of Fairy Tail.
Mhm.
Possible.
It would just be a very long one.
It's going to be a long one though.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's going to be short by any means,
Right.
because there's still a lot of stuff that's going to have to happen. Like Gildarts is going to have to show up again. We're going to have to defeat all the various members of Spriggan 12. We got to have that whole thing about Natsu becoming End, and then them having to fight Natsu, and then Natsu having to be brought back to the good side, and then they have to fight Acnologia, and I'm pretty sure he's going to show up since the conflict will draw of the two countries will draw in Acnologia like the guild, the fight between Fairy Tail and Grimoire Heart
Mhm.
did. Also, other various plot points like the character arcs, the various character arcs for the characters, and the possible shippings if he wants to conclude that by the end of the series, which he better do, or else there's going to be major flame wars.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, other plot points have to be completed if he wants to, satisfy the fans. One of which I feel is directly related to the my episode review that you will probably see. Hopefully, you have seen, which is, will Aquarius's key have resurface
Right.
before the end of the series? And if so, will Lucy be able to obtain it?
Mhm.
As well as the possible foreshadowing that will she finally accept the other golden keys?
Right.
So I could, and now it's granted, I don't think it's going to be as bad, but I can see this being similar to the fourth Great Ninja War of Naruto, where it's this all out war, and it's between two opposing sides that's going to drag out for a while, and going to deal with pretty much trying to close every plot point that's left.
Right.
Now, being Fairy Tail, I would hope it would be a better quality, and especially since he hasn't outright said if this is the final arc, I hope he's not. That's not going to affect certain things.
Right.
I mean, we just came out of a time skip, so they shouldn't have to be powered. There shouldn't be a need for too many BS power ups
Mhm.
in this arc.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Just the right matchups between wizards.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. I thought this was a quite an insane chapter. I enjoyed it. I do kind of enjoy tragedies here and there. Not all the time, but I think it's well written. The whole concept of the more you love life, the more you destroy it. I think that's just brutal and awesome. It's very poetic. So I think Mashima's done a really good job of doing that.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so I would say that's a very good aspect of like just more detail of the curse that Zareth has. Uh, and of course, this chapter in specific, just the relationship that they had, just for it to end in an instant, was just wow. Nice job, Mashima. Maybe you can do that
I
with
guess
Juvia and Gray or something. I don't know. No,
no.
I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. This is a good chapter, great chapter. So yeah, that's it for me.